Welcome to the Through the Table podcast with Tom, Rick, Russ, JL, and Brian.
So yeah, I guess in the main event there, Ibushi went for the Phoenix Splash and he missed. I watched it earlier today. He landed right on his shoulder, and they're saying it's a dislocated shoulder, not a broken arm after all.
That's good though. I mean,
But he was favoring the arm the whole match. Like when he would do a few moves off the top and other things, he kept
Right.
grabbing like at his elbow and his forearm. So I'm wondering if through the tournament he messed something up and it just, I don't think he was 100%, obviously, but just watching it, I didn't see all the matches he was in, but just by the looks of how he was holding, with his arm and stuff, I think something was messed up, and it wasn't like even that bad of a hit, He just kind of landed hard on his left shoulder, and that was it, or his right shoulder.
I mean, it is pretty crazy that they just like I didn't see the match. I just read it that they just stopped it.
It was, Red Shoes went up to him, and I think they were just starting to see, are you selling or not? And Okada was just in the corner, and Red Shoes like put his hand up, like, don't give me a minute.
Right.
And I think from then on, he's like, uh-oh, something bad's going on. The whole crowd is just, obviously he called it off, and the whole crowd was just sitting there like, oh, that's our finish. Like, I mean, obviously an injury happens, but it sucks that it was in the G1 finals of all, if it was in a different round, it'd be all right.
Right.
At least they'd have the championship. So it's like, I don't know what the finish was supposed to be, but obviously that wasn't the finish. I think it was about the 24th minute, I believe, is when he did it. Usually they go like 35-40 with those two. So
with the finals, That's too bad. That's really too bad. It seems like he can't catch a break lately.
Not right now.
Like
something with, it's like that you touch that new belt and it's like cursed. Takagi must be like frightened to have that thing. But after the match, Okada was saying that he wants to give him a proper rematch. And instead of holding on to the briefcase, he wants the old heavyweight championship to walk around with, basically to have, I don't know. The New Japan president is like, what? You're supposed to have the briefcase. He's like, no, I want the belt, the old belt.
So I'm thinking what's going to happen is he'll walk around with that.
Mm-hmm.
He'll face probably Shingo at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
Whoever wins that unifies both of those belts.
From what they get right.
Because I mean, no one like the whole Japanese culture and stuff. I bet you they think that belt is cursed. Like, what?
I totally believe it now.
We screwed that belt up. We should have changed it.
Mm-hmm.
We had the most beautiful belt in all of wrestling.
Yep. You go back to it.
Sorry, guys, we screwed up. Yeah.
Right. Go back to it and let Ospreay have it and be like, no, I'm the real world's champion. Let him. You can hold on to a fake one,
Yep. Yeah, just let him run around America with that for a while.
From the way it was saying, though, is Okada's going to fight Shingo on one night, and then it sounds like the winner was going to fight Ibushi on that third night. That's kind of how it seemed like in the after, when he was in the ring. Kind of sounded like what they were planning on, but they didn't say it in so many words. But it sounds like that's what's going to happen, is Ibushi will get that match on the third night of the Wrestle Kingdom now. So I mean, that's it's. I love the fact that, I mean, I think 3 nights is a little overkill.
Mm-hmm. I do love the 2 nights, but I feel like the only thing that I guess takes away from 2 nights is I almost feel like it cheapens the importance of the G1.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean,
You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
because now it's, even if you win the G1, you
Yeah.
still might not, you might not walk out of night 2 with the belt
Right.
or whatever.
Mhm.
Or so it's just, it's a weird thing. And especially now at night 3, it's like you're going to have, the runner up of the G1 who got
Right.
like hurt. Now now he might have a chance to walk out of Wrestle Kingdom with the belt.
It sounded like they're going that way. Maybe they're waiting to see what the crowd kind of reaction to that was before they really determine it or not. But it really seemed like they were doing that. I mean, last week we were talking about, maybe doing New Japan versus AEW for one of the nights. Because if you're doing a 3-night, you've got to spread the talent out so they only have, say, 1 match per night, or maybe 2 matches if Okada and Shingo, and then they fight Ibushi the 3rd night, so they wrestle twice on it. Because last year they did, you were either on night 1 or night 2. There wasn't much except for like maybe a couple of people I think worked twice. But
I think it was just the main event, if I'm not mistaken.
But basically you're on 1 night, so if you're doing it over 3 nights and you're only using, say, maybe 3 to 4 guys on 2 nights, I don't know. It's kind of strange. They got to be hoping AEW and Ring of Honor and CMLL guys can all come in, because if you're going to have to use the same guys over and over and over again if they don't.
Right. Yeah. Right now you do not have a roster that can fill three nights of.
Unless you're giving Stardom, say, 2 matches per show or something like that. Actually, put them on the show, not in the dark matches.
Right.
I don't know, because as I said,
the Grand Slam they just did. They weren't on the dark matches, right? They were actually on the main show.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I think they were kind of testing it out. But I think they should give them a couple matches if they're going to do 3 nights, and they're not going to bring in a bunch of people because.
Well, what is it like? I know. So, like, Stardom has their own streaming service, and I believe they're also on a different. I'm not exactly sure how TV works over there, but I know it's like whatever company shows New Japan or owns New Japan, like TV Asahi or whatever it is.
Right.
Like I think. What is it? Stardom is on a different network or something like that.
Right.
And so that's a conflict of interest or whatever.
They're on a different network because when they bought them over, that was like the first year of like a 4-year deal or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So you don't break your contracts, especially in Japan, until it's over. And they have their own service. I think it's Stardom. I don't know if it's Stardom World or
I think
whatever they call it, but that's fine to keep those separate if you really want to, because they do enough shows on their own. And as you see with New Japan, every show goes on the air. They don't have like, say, a dark show. Every show is on live or tape delay if it's in Mexico or whatever. But yeah, the other big thing was Shibata and Zack Sabre Jr. had a UWF exhibition 5-minute match.
So that was, I was able to see the entrances.
Yeah.
So that was obvious. Was that a surprise? That was a surprise, right?
No one knew about it.
So Zack Sabre just came out and everyone must have been like, why?
They thought he was coming out to just cut an interview or something like that. And so like, oh, what's he doing here? There's nothing good's going to come of it. And then Shibata's music played and Kevin Kelly was like, what is going on here? Like, I don't get it. And then he was in shorts and the wrestling boots. And he's like, what is going on here? It's his swan song. He just wants one last opportunity. And they went back and forth for 5 minutes. The bell rang, and then he's like, give us 5 more minutes. And the ref's like, we can't give you 5 more minutes. And then shook hands. Sabre Jr. left. And after the match, he said, the next time you see me, I'm in a real match, not an exhibition match.
Yeah.
Charlton and Kelly were just like, what? Oh my God, he got cleared, I guess.
I love how they just don't even.
They don't tell him anything.
Nothing.
They know nothing going on. He wasn't even on their format. I'm sure the Japanese announcers had something scheduled with Sabre Jr. They might not have said Shibata, but I'm sure it said Sabre Jr. And they're like, okay. And they're like, what's this? We have no clue what's going on.
Yeah, I'm sure Kevin Kelly's probably saying like, what the hell? Nobody told me.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, he did a couple of bumps after that. just before he left the ring. I don't know. He must have been cleared because they wouldn't let him work if he didn't.
Right. That's why. Yeah. Because
they said he had 18% chance to live after that injury, and now he's going to work.
Yeah. I mean, I hope it's.
There's no way that they would let him in the ring if he couldn't go.
Right.
Like, there's no way. He must have had so many things over the last couple of years because he's had a few times gone in the ring and, had a few little
he had the thing with,
here and there.
Kenta a couple, a year or two back or whatever. And
I guess at the training school, the kids say that he's in the ring bumping, throwing him over. He's getting tossed over. So he's doing basic matches there. I mean, he's probably not doing a bunch of high spots, but he never really did a bunch of high spots. He's more of the ground and pound all that,
Yeah, he'll just kick you really hard. And I mean,
hopefully
he doesn't start throwing headbutts and stuff again, because I just
no. Well, he said that. He goes, I'll never throw another headbutt or take a headbutt.
Nope.
But I mean, you start him off slow. Obviously, he's gonna build his way up there. He's not going to go in there right away with all the big guys,
Yeah.
You'll see him in there with, I don't know who they would start him out with, probably our buddy Chase Owens or somebody like that. He knows you can work with and he's not going to hurt you,
Right.
Put him in with Toru, but that would just be a comedy match, which he's the opposite of that. So it's like, probably just some of the kids. They probably work. Maybe they'll bring over Coughlin and some of those guys, and he'll work with them to start with. Maybe I don't know.
I was gonna say, because that's what he's been doing, right? He's just been running the LA dojo,
right? I'm curious if he when they have next month they have a Battle in the Valley or something. It's their next big show, and that's when Ishii's on, and I think a couple of other guys are coming over for it, and it's live on New Japan World that night. I'm wondering if he does something. He might not have a match, but I'm curious if he gets involved somehow. Usually he's running those shows, so something happens. And then I guess the other Japanese news was the Major League Wrestling has a deal with All Japan Wrestling to have a working relationship. Not sure to what extent right now.
Right.
Because I think their next show is maybe 2 weeks from now, in November 6th or something like that. I'm wondering if anybody comes over for that. I guess we'll find out to what extent happens then.
Is Tajiri with All Japan, or is he like a freelance?
He's freelance. He's freelance. He works. He does a lot of Pro Wrestling 01.
Oh, okay.
And what did I see? He was on. I think he was working with Noah too lately. He's been working both of them a lot.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they're Noah's like rosters in the like late 40s and 50s, except for like a couple of guys now. There's so many old guys there. It's crazy.
Honestly,
not that All Japan's much younger, but they have a few younger guys. I mean, they don't ever retire. So it's
I have literally it's probably just because I have the New Japan World app or whatever, but I know almost zero about anything other over in Japan. You know what I mean? Like New Japan's pretty much it. Like I try to keep up with the other stuff, but I couldn't tell you one person on the All Japan roster right now.
I know Suwama.
And it's like, as far as Noah, I know there's Marufuji.
Yeah, Marufuji, Sugiura.
Right. I was gonna say most likely that if nobody's retiring, it's all like
Mohammed Yone
and Hanma.
Yeah, right. It's all those guys that you see 100,000 times. And I think Akayama's with
All Japan.
No, he's with DDT right now because they own DDT. They own DDT.
Oh, okay.
So for whatever reason, I guess he's in DDT now, not All Japan at the moment.
I mean, it's not bad. It like freshens him up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
So I think they have a few guys going back and forth there. I don't know much of the roster as well. I mean,
right.
I couldn't even tell you who their champions are.
I have a hard time watching American wrestling that's easily accessible. Never mind, never mind like random Japanese stuff.
I hear you. Trying to see who their champions are, but I have no clue. Roster and current champions. Let's see. Jake Lee is their champion right now.
Jake Lee.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like the most generic.
He beat Mirahara, who was the champion apparently.
This is All Japan?
Yeah, Lee Chang Going is his real name. So it's not like an American or anything. Their tag champions are Suwama and Ashino. And then Strong Hearts are the All Asia Tag Team champions. And the TV champion is Ishikawa. No, Yoshitatsu is part of their 6-man champs with 2 other guys from Big Japan.
Huh.
Yeah, they work with Big Japan a lot, like Miyamoto,
right,
and Kasai, and
Sakamoto.
A few others work a lot. Yep, Sakamoto does a ton of stuff. And what's his partner there? Oh, I can't remember his name right now.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm blanking on it.
I saw him live. He
Sakamoto?
Yeah.
Oh.
He did a Beyond, one of those American Ranas, Beyond Wrestling American Ranas.
Oh, okay.
And,
all right.
And he wrestled Dickinson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Dickinson wrestles everybody from Japan.
Honestly, he's like, but he fits in. It just seems like he's, I'm surprised he's not over. I mean, then again, I guess you really can't at this point. You know what I mean? He's got a life here, so it's not like he can fly back and forth. But I could see Dickinson being in,
I bet when he's allowed to, he will.
Right.
I guess they're the COVID's like really, really way down there for whatever reason. Like from last month, they're down like 60% in cases.
Oh, wow.
So the New Japan people were saying today that they're going to go back to full cards on the 1st of November. So instead of having 4 or 5 matches, they're going to go back to 8 or 9 or 10 matches per show, because they've been cutting the length of them, so there wasn't too many people there.
There's not too many people, and they're not there for a long period of time.
And as I was telling you last week, the way that it's going is they're going to be able to have the Gaijins come in probably in December now, if everything holds off as it's going right now.
Hopefully.
So if you're going to be able to do some stuff with some of the American guys, they could actually work for a few shows and come in before Wrestle Kingdom. Like they could actually make an appearance on a show before it.
Thank you for listening to Through the Table Podcast with Tom, Rick, Russ, JL, and Brian. Catch us on Twitter and Facebook. Please like and subscribe. Thank you. Till next time.